A long time ago, before the great cities and empires came to be, there was a savanna. And in this savanna, there was a great war between the tribes of man and lion. The dispute began at the great feast that man and lion tribes held every new moon. Chief Amanu, the leader of man, began the argument, asserting surely we must rule the savanna, for we can make weapons, tools, and fire. But King Jelani, ruler of the lion tribe, said surely we lions are meant to rule the savanna, for we have strength, speed, and a roar that can pass many fields. The argument lasted as day turned to night, until Amanu, in a fit of rage, grabbed his spear and thrust it through the heart of Jelani's son, Prince of the Lions. Jelani and the rest of the lions fled from the feast. The next morning at sunrise, the two armies met for battle, and by sundown, the battle had been won. Chief Amanu had been captured and killed, and the lions proclaimed their rule over the village. When the queen of the man tribe, wife of Amanu, heard the news of the tribe's defeat, she wailed in agony and became mad with grief. Burko, Amanu's firstborn son, fled the village, for he knew that Jelani would surely come for him next. All that was left of the ruling family was the boy prince Adisa. He was taken in by one of the mothers of the man tribe, shed of his royal hide and headdress, and passed off as a normal child of the village. Life in the savanna changed for the tribe of man. Mournful of their defeat and the loss of their chief, they submitted to Jelani's rule. The queen of the man tribe remained so grief-stricken in her madness that she couldn't even recognize her son, but spent her days wandering the village, mumbling the name of her lost husband. But one day, Burko, the eldest son, returned from his exile and came to the village to learn the whereabouts of his family. He found his brother Adisa in a field outside of the village. He told Adisa that he fled after the great defeat and was taken in by a tribe of animals. He had been taught how to defeat a lion, and told Adisa that he too can overcome such a challenge. Adisa doubted himself at first, but followed his brother back to the land of the animals. The great elephant taught him how to remember his surroundings and never get lost. The chief gazelle taught him how to leap over brush and evade his pursuer. And the old meerkat taught him how to make burrows to hide from his foe and build traps to capture him. Together, the animals and humans devised a plan. When Adisa was ready, he and Burko crept into the lion's den. Burko distracted the lion's guards, and seeing his chance, Adisa found Jelani and proclaimed, "I am Adisa, son of Amanu, heir to the chieftain of the tribe of man." He then fled the den, running as fast as he could to the great forest, a land he knew would be foreign to the lion. Jelani thought to himself, "I will rest for the night and give the child a head start." Adisa ran across the open savanna for 2 days and 2 nights. By sunrise of the 3rd day, he had reached the entrance of the great forest and collapsed of exhaustion. He was awoken later by a thunderous and terrifying sound. As he got up, the ground began to shake, and he gazed out towards the horizon. Far in the distance was the figure of a lion, and the great hunter let out another roar. Adisa darted back into the forest, making a confusing trail for his pursuer. For several days, the lion hunter roamed the foreign land, getting further and further in, and more lost. On the 5th night in the forest, Jelani grew restless and began running as fast as he could in random directions. During such a run, his leg became caught between two rocks, and with a great cry, he let his pain known. Awoken from his tree by the cry, Adisa climbed down and stood before the wounded king. The lion let out a heavy sigh when he saw him, for he thought he'd surely be killed. "Do not be afraid," said Adisa. "I have not come to kill you. I will help you out of this trap, but you must agree to return rule of the savannah to both man and lion, and the two tribes will once again have peace." Jelani agreed to his demands, and Adisa began mending the lion's leg. After the king had fully recovered, he called man and lion tribes to his den, and decreed, from this point on, man and beast must share the savannah. Adisa became known as the wisest ruler in all the savannah, and peace was once again restored between lion